All right, so we've got Buddhist boot camp, Timber Hawkeye.
Let's get stuck,
You ready? Oh, let's go for it. Just get this happening.
Big crew today.
Welcome back to What You Will Learn. My name is Adam Ashton.
Hello. My name is Adam Jones. Today we're getting into the Buddhist boot camp by Timber Hawkeye. Not his original name, mate.
He's a legend of a bloke, isn't he? Well, it's an odd name, Timber Hawkeye.
Yeah.
We'll be speaking to him this week to find out where that name came. I don't know what his real name is. Not sure.
No idea.
But so Buddhist boot camp. So basically, Timber was he was in corporate America as a lawyer. And then I think he just basically got to the point where he was like, no, this is just not what I'm meant to be doing. Sold all his stuff and just lived a really minimalist life.
Yep.
And ended up, I think he spent a year living in a Tibetan Zen monk monastery.
That's right. So from that monastery, I think it was from the monastery, he was saying he sent a whole bunch of emails to one of his friends or his relatives. And then over time, they just said, hey, mate, this is pretty cool stuff. You should write a book about all this. So all those emails compiled into this one book.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a lot of little chapters about just, I guess, Buddhist principles and how you can put it into your life or whatever you do. Yeah,
all very short, 1 page, 2 page. And as you say, how to apply Buddhist principles to everyday life. Anyone can be a Buddhist. You can be Jewish and a Buddhist. You can be Christian and a Buddhist.
Yeah,
it's just using these principles, and it's not a religion per se. And he says he simplifies being happy into 2 words: be grateful. He says gratitude has a way of turning what we have into enough. Yeah. That's a big part of it, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
So there's probably how many? 30?
It's probably like 30 or 40.
We'll pick out our favourite.
We'll go through our faves. Yep, that's it. So we'll get stuck in. One of the early ones for me was grasping.
Mm-hmm.
So our beliefs solidify the truths and realities we know. It's like the never-ending story. So once you stop believing in the reality, it ceases to exist.
Yeah, he says love is real, but fear is also real. He says everything we do, all the choices we make, we need to analyze, are they coming from a place of love or a place of fear? If they're coming from a place of love, go for it. If they're coming from a place of fear, isolate that fear. Obviously, don't do that thing and try and work out where that fear is coming from and how you can eliminate that.
Interesting shit.
Yeah.
Another one, mate. I like training the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So stop granting yourself everything you crave. Let your mind know who's boss, basically. So first few times, your mind will throw a little tantrum like a little kid. But after a while, like you'll just see your mind as a little kid and you're not submissive to everything that your mind wants. So you got a bit more control, he says.
Yeah, and as a little kid, you've never told yourself no. You've never said no to yourself. As you say, mate, you always give in to your cravings. But what he says is if you can say no and take control, you realize that you got more control. You'll have more freedom over your own mind and more options, more choices, and just more ability to do what you want.
Yeah.
So if you get that craving for ice cream, maybe skip it.
Yeah, skip the ice cream and choose an apple. Nah, just fucking
just skip it.
Just skip it. Less is more. So this was one we both liked, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's with the idea, the concept, work part-time to live full-time. So rather than going out working your 60, 70-hour weeks, doing that until you retire, how about, or his approach, what he ended up doing was you work 20 hours, but then like reduce what his necessary expenditures were to a point where he could live off, work 10 to 20 hours a week. And then the rest of the time he'd be playing tennis, playing hockey, just chilling out with his mates. Living it.
Mate, I reckon you should ask him more about that on Tuesday or Wednesday when we speak to him.
Yeah, bang on.
Do it. We are the victims of our own choices. And he says that what we are today, we're the result of all the choices we've made in the past, whether that was 10 minutes ago, 10 days ago, or 10 years ago. And so we have to realize that we're the victims of our own choices and stop blaming external things and stop blaming other people.
That's right. So when you start pointing at yourself, and then all of a sudden you're in control. If you just think everything else is fucking with you, then you're not really gonna get anywhere. Yeah,
he also says take the tough road, make the tough calls. Don't take the easy road because the easy road probably isn't going where you want to go.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, mate, I also want to to jump in.
Yeah.
At the end of every chapter, he's got a quote, and they're all bloody good.
Yeah.
This one I liked in particular from from Jim Rohn. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse.
Great, Jimmy Rohn. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Feelings versus emotions. So live in each moment without getting attached to it. So when you're just living in the moment or the present, he says, you're just chilling out. All the suffering just goes away and you're just hanging out, enjoying yourself.
Yeah. And he says basically that a feeling, everyone has feelings, and it's, a 30-second or 1 minute feeling. Whereas an emotion is a prolonged thing, and it's a story that you've created as to why you're feeling that emotion. So it's just that story. You need to get rid of the story behind it.
Yep.
And again, we'll ask him a bit more about that.
Yep, bang on. Another one, divinity within.
Yep.
So he says, just rather than if you got mates coming around or people having dinner at yours, you put a lot of effort into make the place looking nice. So he reckons, why not just do that for yourself? So just look after yourself, prepare a nice meal, put a candle on. Just, look after yourself. You're important as well. So
as you say, if you're having mum and dad over or friends over for dinner, you're going to clean up and you're going to sit at the table. The TV's not going to be on. So how come when you're by yourself that you just make some deep fried meal and sit on the couch watching TV and you're not treating yourself well? So treat yourself as if someone else was watching, basically.
Yeah, that's it. Teaching kids, he says, don't believe everything you see, hear, or read. And this is like one of the core things in Buddhism. You don't believe what they say, just go out and try it. So it says, find out what yourself is the truth. So rather than don't believe all the people you've listened to. Just find out, try the things. And if it's true for you, then that's all that matters. Yeah, that's a big one. And he also, in terms of teaching kids, he says teach kids how to think, not what to think. So don't say, this is the answer, this is a story, believe this. Say, here's a story, what do you think this is? And think for yourself. The other thing he talks about is language versus communication. We teach kids language, we teach them vocabulary, we teach them what to say, but we don't teach them how to communicate with each other. So, I reckon he'd have some good ideas about education. And I think this book's actually getting in a few schools as well, so that'd be good. Yeah, fantastic. Rewriting the story. So our beliefs are merely our stories in our minds that we wrote a long time ago. So he's just saying, isn't it liberating that your beliefs are just stories you made up? So why not just change them? It's not that hard. Yeah. Well, he makes it sound pretty easy. Yeah. One other I've got here, the problem with the golden rule. So he says the golden rule is do unto others or treat others the way that we want to be treated. But he says the issue is we probably are treating others the way that we want to be treated, and that's poorly. So he says we're treating ourselves poorly. We're feeding our kids junk food. We're watching TV instead of reading books. We're not giving anyone our undivided attention because we're always on our phones or our devices. So stop treating yourself poorly and stop treating others poorly as well. Yeah, bang on. Do you want to get into our favourite section? Success. Success. So a good chapter here. Careers are overrated, so kind of touching on that less is more principle. So how little can I live off and still have a good time is his question. So he's got a sick Dalai Lama quote here. So man sacrifices his health in order to make money, then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he is so anxious about the future. He lives as if he's never going to die, and he dies having never truly lived. So Dalai Lama. And we did his book as well, The Art of Happiness, a couple of months ago. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, good book. Another one in the success category, when to walk away. Well, so he says a 9-to-5 job isn't the only way to spell success. He says success means being happy and no one deserves to hate what they do for a living. He says love yourself enough to choose happiness every time and you'll be the most successful person in the world. Yep. Bang on. Love it. Redefining enough. So it's like if he's going to work less, you got to redefine what is enough. Because for a lot of people, it's never enough. So that's why you always need that extra pay rise, or you're always just looking for that little bit more. But when he says that's right. So he says just when you understand what's enough, know your limit, and then redefine what that is, and you're probably better off having that as little as possible. Yeah, if you lower your expectations, it gives you a lot more freedom to achieve. Yeah. Next, we've got a story here called The Simple Life. Yeah. It came up in the 4-hour work week, but I reckon it's definitely worth repeating. Yeah. Definitely. So we've got here, one summer day, a fisherman, he's coming in on his boat,
and it's lunchtime, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and this American guy sees this Mexican fisherman coming back, and he says, "Why are you back so early? Why if you stay out and fish a bit longer, you might catch some more fish." And the fisherman said, "Well, I just go out, I catch enough fish for my family, and I come home." And so the American says, "Well, what do you do for the rest of the day? You've only been out a few hours." And he says, "Well, I get to sleep in every day, catch a few fish, but then I go home, play with my children, have a siesta, stroll through the village with my wife, relax, play the guitar with my amigos, drink some wine, laugh, sing, dance late into the night. I have a full and wonderful life." And this American says, "Well, I'm a businessman from New York. Let me tell you what you should do instead. Instead of wasting your time like this, you should stay out a bit longer, catch some more fish, sell it to someone else, and you'll keep a little bit of profit for yourself. Maybe then you could buy a second boat. Maybe you could buy a whole fleet of boats. And eventually you might have enough. You could even buy a factory and you could package the fish and sell them all over the world, and you have a massive business. You'd have to move to the city.
Yeah.
But eventually you could sell this for millions of dollars." And the fisherman said, "Well, how long does this take?" And the banker says, "I don't know, 20 years, maybe 15 if you're lucky, but you'll be a millionaire." But the fisherman said, "Well, what next?" And he says, "Well, that's the best part. Once you sell your business, you can move back to a little fishing village, sleep in late, fish a little, play with your kids, take siestas in the afternoon, go for a stroll in the village with your wife, laugh, sing, dance, relax, and you'll have a full and wonderful life."
Yeah.
And the fisherman just walked away.
Love that story.
Yeah.
So the businessman came down thinking he's like, man, he's going to teach him a lesson, but the fisherman was really probably the one who knew his shit.
He didn't have to say anything, did he?
No.
Just that walk away just says it all.
Yeah, that's it. Next one after that, knowing is not half the battle. So even if, like you say, that sweet story that you just said, knowing, that story or the wisdom is only just a little portion of it. Taking the actions is basically everything.
Yeah, massive. And Derek Sivers, the author of Anything You Want, the very first episode we did, said if knowledge was the only thing we needed, then everyone would be a billionaire with perfect abs.
Yeah.
We know how to make money and just make more, spend less. We know how to lose weight, eat less, exercise more, but just knowing it isn't enough.
That's it. At the root of our suffering, he says, reduce suffering by reducing expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So he says something like, say, if you're in traffic or something, and if you're expecting that everything to flow smoothly, then as soon as there is traffic, then you all of a sudden you get pissed off. So he says, just don't expect there to be smooth sailing all the time. There's going to be, you're in a world where everything's not going to be perfect. So just reduce your expectations, understand that, and when then shit goes down, you're not getting pissed off and angry.
Yeah. He says, take note, most of our expectations are completely unreasonable and self-centered. Basically, by expecting less, you're going to be happier with less.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, happiness.
That's right. And then my final last chapter, we've covered a lot. There's a lot more in the book.
Yeah.
Are we looking, so it's on permanence, so we're looking for something permanent in a permanent world. So live as if you were to die tomorrow and learn as if you will live forever.
Yeah, nice. And my one to finish off, it's never too late. And he says, making no decision is a big decision in itself. And he says, training our mind to be more positive, loving, accepting may be easier said than done, but it's certainly easier than living the rest of your life with greed, hatred, and anger. Let go of what's killing you, even if it's killing you to let go.
Yeah. Love it, mate. Good book,
good stuff from Timber.
Yeah.
Good book. I'd say it's very easy to read. It's 140 pages, but it's all short, sharp.
Yeah. We've been complaining last few weeks about too much fat in books.
Yeah.
This has got no fat in it, does it? It's just straight to the point, concise.
Yeah. It's very much like Anything You Want. It's like a paragraph to set up the story, enough context to give you the lesson and the learning.
Yeah.
So it's spot on, I reckon.
Love it. I'd recommend it to
worth the read.
To most people.
I read this one as well. His other one, Faithfully Religionless, which is a lot more about his personal story, which are similar content but told in a different way. I like them both.
Yeah. Definitely very applicable, I guess, for everyone in the West, because we don't really live these ways. So if you take a few of these on board, I reckon you could get more out of your time.
Definitely.
with your work or whatever you do.
There's a lot of important lessons in here. Oh, he's also got a free a TED Talk. Obviously, TED Talks are free, but a TED Talk. I guess just search Timber Hawkeye.
Yep.
He's got a TED Talk, and in a couple of days, keep your eye out. We'll be speaking to him, and I'm sure we'll get a lot out of him.
Yeah, fucking oath. All right, mate. We're gonna sing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's song it.
Cool. We haven't got a song ready, have we? Are we still live?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to go. We'll get a song off
Yeah.
camera, and we'll look out for Timber during the week.